Why do adults sometimes do certain actions that are opposite to dharma? What do you think? Every child should have an answer, is it not? Maybe one answer is in their childhood they didn't go to Sanskriti school, but you may have other answers also. Yeah, Neil is saying something.
Maybe because like they might have done it once and not gotten caught, so they thought they could do it again.
Have I understood you properly?
Oh,
Are you saying, or would you say that again, please?
maybe because they did it once and did not get caught, so they did it again.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a very good way, sympathetic way to look at it. That at one stage of his life, he did that thing wrong, but he was not caught, or he was not reprimanded, not educated enough, so he does it again, is it not? This is a very good way to look at it. I appreciate this answer very much because, when you become a teenager, temptations in life to make some quick gains. And that time, even the warning will come, that inner voice. But then you will say, heck of it, I don't care. I am I am so much hungry at this point. You are so much tempted, and even that signal in a voice, you override it, you overlook it, and such tendencies then add up, pile over one after another. Then when you are a grown up person, then you say there is no inner voice. So what Neil has said is perfectly sensible thing, that once you begin to do a wrong thing, then you are yourself chalking out a bad path, is it not? The first step in the wrong path means the future path is opening out, is it not? So this is very important. You have to guard yourself against all such temptations, and not fall into temptation even in the one first chance. If you are very strict, that will help you a lot. Then you will realize slightly moments later there will be many good options. If you don't fall into the trap of temptations, slightly later you will see, oh, I was so lucky and now I see wonderful positive options, is it not? So that is the way you are always tested in your life. Every moment is a test, as if somebody is giving you all kinds of choices and then looking at you, what choice you are choosing, is it not? And that's where, finally, your personality will be framed. If you are strict, I will not compromise. That will be so wonderful. Very good. Anybody else has a way to explain this riddle? Why good children, or many of them, remain good adults? Even in your schools, regular schools, why does a child begin to bully others? Is it not? Is bullying good? Bullying is not good. But why do some children do it? It is kind of hurting others, is it not? Nobody likes to hurt others. But then in your school, you might have seen some children, they bully others, is it not? They know it is hurtful, but still they hurt others because they have chosen the wrong path, is it not?
So,
And I am sure you are all, even if you have a friend who is weaker than you, say physically or in any other aspect, you don't want to hurt to somebody. You don't want to get hurt. So you don't want to cause hurt to others. That is the dharma. I will say more children should like to contribute it
um,
because you know it. That among yourself, or you see in your school some older children, they get into some wrong bad habits. Why do they do such things? Or any other question in the meanwhile. Otherwise, I think it is time I
Miss
pass on to.
Acharya,
Yeah, here is a question.
I
Isha is
think they
asking.
do it because they want a shortcut so that it's fast. Like if they're like doing something for like money or just to hurt someone, they might get something out of it, but it's on the bad path.
Yeah.
Wrong answer.
Isha has made a very good observation. She is trying to analyze what must be happening in the mind of that person who is bullying others, is it not? So she is saying it is kind of a behavior to dominate over others. Maybe in his home he is not allowed to express himself properly, or somehow he is not recognized fully. And now in the school, when he sees a weaker child, he thinks, I can show my power over him. by using physical force and is it not? So such things, our human mind at what time is very difficult. So you have to guard your mind. Don't let any negativity enter into your mind. Otherwise, those slight negativities, they become like you may not be aware of it. And suddenly, when you are a teenager, you may exhibit certain, negative behavior. So you have to guard yourself. That any negativity, you just say, this is not my thing. I don't accept it. I don't like conscious that I don't want any negativity. Always a happy, contented person. And you don't go through all the other things, is it not? And you know it. What is the sign of a happy child? A permanent smile on your face. Child, you all had a smile and maintain that. If you are always smiling, you are happy, and then you don't go after anything which is senseless thing, is it not? So you will be away from adharma because you will always be, you are born with dharma within yourself. Very good. Navika, Navika has a question. She says, I will raise it. A question. Do you have a question by now? Okay, I will pass it on to the leaders of the Sanskriti school, Acharya ji or Ankit ji. They can use the time.
Siddharth हाथ उठाए हुए.
Oh, I have missed it.
Can you please
Siddharth.
unmute Siddharth?
Yeah. I am not
Siddharth
seeing him
beta.
on the page. Oh,
Try to
yeah,
unmute.
he's
Gadge ji, can you
yeah,
please
he's
unmute him?
and he's visible also.
Another,
And we
Yes,
see him
please.
in the list.
another reason a teenager might do a dharma is because they may have learned it from their elders and then go to Sanskriti school.
I think I need somebody's help. Ankit ji.
Teenager must have done an adharma because they learned it from their old elder people who were bad people and was so tempted to it he couldn't stop doing it and started to become a bad person.
I think I've heard the word dharma and bad people and some words, but I am missing the sentence.
Acharya ji, he means his answer is to the previous question. You asked why do some adults do adharma? So he says that the teenagers may be influenced by their adults. They might have seen their adults do that adharma, so they are so they continue to do the same thing. Can you hear me, Acharya ji?
Can somebody write it here, please?
Okay.
I am sorry, you know. I picked up some words, but I think I am missing the overall nature of the question. But I'm very happy. He's a young little boy, and I know he's very intelligent.
He says he will type it. He'll type it in the chat box.
In my interactions, I'm still waiting for the question to show up on my chat box. Something about teenagers and adults.
His answer is teenagers do adharma because they are influenced by their adults. They see their parents, other adults around them.
I think I have got it now. Very intelligent question. This takes us something we discussed last week, like Devatva, Mata Pita at one level of Devatva, then Acharya, one level of Devatva. So even the children, they are born with the first sign of adharma in the society, is it not? They see an older child doing something wrong. And sometimes, unfortunately, they see an adult also doing something wrong, adharma. So, like we say, we learn from others also. So, when you see something, say in this particular instance, as a teenager, if you see an adult conducting as adharma, and that may influence you. That is very sad part because self that yes, now I am growing. I am not just within the confines of my home. I see so many things on television, on internet, where I see many people doing many wrongful things. But then you have to guard yourself and influence. A teenager, he may see an adult fantasy that why don't I also taste it, try it? It's this thing, it. Because as a child or as a teenager, you know it that is nicotine in your lungs, and then you are likely to end up in hospital. There may be lung cancer or other mouth cancer, and then you will not be able to, will be devastated, will be, destroyed totally, is it not? So you know it, of 40, 50, 60, who just became a slave of smoking. They could their whole family and so on and so forth. So you have to, as a teenager, you are seeing all kinds of things in the world. You will be influenced by what? You know, just because a 20-year, 18-year-old is saying, but you are also seeing that an 40-year-old, 50-year-old and ends up in school, in hospital with lung cancer. So, you want to be aware of all this experience. You don't have to smoke a cigarette to gain that first-hand experience. You have to learn from others. Others fall into a pit hole and hurt them. You want to learn from it. This is experience, is it not? So your learning has to be multidimensional throughout weight, pros and cons of everything. Say smoking, drinking alcohol, all these issues will come up when you are in a half against it. If you take one wrong step, it opens the wrong path, is it not? If you are at a crossroad, it is very important. Are you turning to the right or to the left? One turn will determine one path, another turn will determine another path, is it not? So the falls into other by seeing an adult, but even a teenager has a responsibility to not to be inspired by wrongful acts of others. That is why we said, other than Mata and Pita, there is another class of people, Acharya, who is supposed to have his Acharya also of higher quality. So try to be connected with superior people in the society whose actions are also noble, is it not? Otherwise, all adults are not equal, you will realize. They may be good mothers in their home, good fathers in their home, but in the society, you will see some of them fail on certain occasions. So you don't want to be inspired by everybody just like that. You have to use your own power of buddhi, power of intellect. That was a very good question. All these situations will be arising. That is why Sanskriti school is so important. We want to empower you with all the ammunition so that you can face all the challenges of your life with a sense of confidence. Then your mother, your father will say, look, my child is not going to pick up smoking. My child is not going to pick up any wrong habits. He is focused. She is focused on something, very superior goals in life, is it not? So I am sure every child of Sanskriti school will make us proud, is it not?